Hey guys, hope you've been doing well. I apologize for taking so long just to get back to you guys on some decks, but we are going to look at a pretty rad one here today. Full disclosure, this is not my deck. This is my son's deck. He loves Batman, and so when I started getting into skating again in around 2017, and I was pointing the boys towards, grabbing a reissue of what we used to skate back in the day, instead of going with the longboard. This was one that my son was just like, oh, that is so killer, because obviously just that Batman vibe to it. And so such a cool deck. We know this one is the Vision Jinx, right? And so this is Marty Jimenez. I maybe said his last name wrong there, Jimenez, something along those lines, but this is his mini pro model. He's got a bunch of other variations as far as graphics goes, and so I'll maybe pop a couple of those up just as we're talking about the deck here, and you can see some of those different graphics. But this deck just screams 80s. I love it. It's maintaining the 80s shape, but this is the modern concave to it. So definitely not the concave. We were skating. This does say Vision Sports Incorporated 1987, so I'm assuming that's when the graphic was first released. And this is definitely not a 1987 concave. By 89 we were starting to see some nose and stuff, but definitely not to this extent, and definitely not the concave like that on the board. So there's kind of a down the barrel for you guys. Side profile, nice kick on it. But yeah, such a rad graphic, guys. So 80s, love that. There's a couple other things on here. So yeah, we see the Marty Jimenez Vision Mini Pro model. Again, the date 1987, Vision Sports Incorporated. And then there's just a couple little things in this graphic here as well. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it does say truck stop. It does say rough neighborhood, and then also Skid Row, just in these graphics down here. One of the problems that I have with Vision is that you have all of these wicked graphics and you can barely find anything on the artist. So the artist for this may have been Andy. I'm not even going to say his last name because I'm going to butcher it, but it starts with Takakjian. Could have been the artist that did the graphics for this, because he did Gons, and he did, the infamous Psycho skate that was on the In Excess album cover as well. And so I'll maybe put a clip to his video at the end, and he talks about those boards. And maybe what else I'll do is I'll put a video, if I can, just another link to Psycho Skate, which was a VHS that came out in the 80s, and I had that one. It highlighted a pile of Vision skaters, but also talked about Rodney Mullen. Tony Hawk was in there as well. A lot of Christian Hosoi, actually. Pretty much that video was a lot of it was Gator and Christian Hosoi. You see glimpses of Marty in there. There's a wicked scene towards the end, about a third of the way through, where Marty and Gons are out skating a pretty gnarly bowl, actually. And so Marty has the blonde ponytail, if you're watching it. Give it a watch. I'll put it at the end. It's only about 30 minutes, guys. Go through it. You've probably watched it a million times already if you're my age, but just go through it again. There's so many rad memories, even just the music and stuff. It's pretty awesome. All right, so let's run through this. So I'm going to pull some information. The information I'm getting is from SoCal Skate Shop. We actually got this deck in Vancouver at Border Labs or Longboard Labs. They have an awesome, if you walk into that store, amazing selection of reissues. They actually have some OG rip grip in there, as well as some rails, some smidge stick rails and stuff. So they have some OG parts in there. Amazing when you walk in. It's such a rad store. It's been around for a long time. They've had some problems with their online services. So if you're going to buy something online, what I do is I just give them a call ahead and ensure that they have the proper color. If you do that, you're good to go. I've just heard stories of people ordering a deck expecting one color, but then they end up getting a different color. But awesome store to walk into. And again, if you do that preliminary call, you're going to be happy, with the deck that you get from there, because they have a lot of options, that's for sure. All right, let's jump into the specs on this one. And so this one is 10 inches wide. Again, I'm pulling this from SoCal Skate Shop down in Cali. The length on this one is 30.25 inches. The wheelbase, so we're measuring in between the trucks here, is 15.25 inches. The nose on this one is 4.25 inches, and the tail back here is 6.5 inches. A little additional information on this one is that it's 7-ply hard rock maple, which is pretty standard, right? It is made in the US of A. And again, we've talked about this, but it's got the modern concave to it. So definitely not a shape we were skating back in the day. But you know what? Well, I'm going to show you guys this. And then, so a combination, I feel like, of this and the modern concave will just make it really easy to go out and get some skating done today. And so again, you get that nostalgia of the awesome 80s graphic, similar shape for sure, just with the more modern concave to it, if that's your thing. I actually like riding the old flat concave, not super flat, but in that, you know, like 85 to 88 range. I like the concave there. There's some concave, it's not over the top, it's not super flat, and but that's the kind of stuff I like riding. All right, so let's hold up my trusty Psycho riser here. I think I've got it. How are you guys looking at it? It doesn't matter. Anyways, all right, so let's take a look at this. We can see here that this is the new school truck hole pattern. So again, between the fact that it has the modern concave and we have the new school truck hole pattern, you can go out and buy pretty much any trucks now because they're all, the base plates are all the majority of the new school hole pattern. And so between that and this modern concave, you guys can go out and have a pile of fun on this, riding bowls or parks, even just doing some curb stuff on the street. Just a great all-around deck. Would be fun to ride. This one just hangs on my son's wall. He has a couple flights that he rides. He has like one of the first versions of the Flight Pop that came out. And then he also has an Andy Anderson as well that he skated in the full size, whatever that is, the 9.13, I think it is. But yeah, so he skates that. But this one just hangs on as well, like all of mine. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Again, I apologize for taking so long to get to these videos. I'm really hoping that I can get to that 1,000 subscribers, that way monetize it, and yeah, be giving back. Like I said, if I could be doing some giveaways or something along those lines. I don't really, like, I'm not the kind of guy that needs to have boards lying all over the place. I'm pretty much, you know, got what I want. But yeah, beyond that, if I can be getting them in, I would love to be doing some giveaways and stuff if there was an opportunity for me to start monetizing it. All right, well, peace out. Thanks so much, guys. Please leave some comments because I love engaging with you guys. All right, cheers. Take care. Bye.